This is gonna be a weird-ass video to make. What is up, guys? It's Nick, and welcome back to Nuggets Anonymous. So this video is not planned. First off, I'm sorry I haven't been making videos. By the way, I know I haven't been making any in the last 2 months. Stuff's happened. I'll get into that later on in a different video. But I needed to make this video because I just saw Taylor Nichole Dean's apology video. Let me adjust this so you guys can see my terrible hair. That'll work. Sorry if this video is terrible with the editing, or I'm looking at viewfinder or whatever, just because it's not something I plan to make. First off, if you don't know who Taylor Nichole Dean is, she is a animal YouTuber. She's been around pretty much since animal YouTubing became a thing. She is the first one I met, or I know of, besides Brian Barczyk, that I ever saw. And she's actually one of the people who got me into exotic animals and got me into, and even was one of the people who kind of made me want to start making videos in the first place. So that's why all this was kind of an issue for me. If you are like me and you avoid drama at all costs, and you never get on stuff to find, if you're not a tea sipper, if you don't sip the tea, then you don't know what's been going on. Long story short, she's been getting a lot of hate, a lot of backlash over the past week or so. People have been basically saying stuff like her animals are dying, she doesn't care for her animals properly, she basically just buys them because they make her money, all kinds of stuff. And even that, they've gone even past that now, and they've started to call her out on her relationship, call her an addict, all kinds of things. And first off, the addict and her relationship parts, I'm not touching on, because first off, that's none of my business. It's no one's business. Your personal relationships and your personal problems, those are something that is a personal endeavor, personal problem. Endeavor was not the right word to use, but it's a personal thing that you have to work out and deal with yourself and with your personal group. That's not something you put online to put on blast for yourself. And if you do put it out there online, then again, that should be at their discretion and at their choice. It shouldn't be you're calling them out because you see little things like, the way they move, or, the way that they behave. Because everyone is quirky. Everyone has a quirk. Everyone has their own style and the way they act. So people think I'm on drugs all the time, and I'm not. I've never done drugs. And that's not okay to call me out and say I'm high all the time. No one's done that online, thank God. I get called out for that in real life because I have small eyes, and the way my face is shaped just looks like I'm stoned out of my mind. But I'm not. I'm just a weirdo who happens to have an animal addiction. But I'm not going to seek help for that. But aside from all the personal stuff, the big thing that I want to touch on is just the fact that Taylor has been getting called out a lot for her animal care, and the fact that people are saying that she is not properly taking care of her animals. First off, if you can't see me well on the camera, I'm sorry. My tripod is messed up right now, so I'm having to film on just the legs of the tripod, so it's a bit of an issue. And I don't know, again, this was not planned. I didn't seriously sit down and think this through. I didn't write anything out. I wrote out just the topics from what I want to talk about from the video, because I believe Taylor. I think she's a good person. I think she's someone who genuinely cares for animals. I'm going to try to fix this really fast. Yeah, okay. I believe Taylor. I believe the people who support her. I believe the fact that she is a good animal caretaker. I believe she may have made mistakes. I believe that stuff happened. I believe that. And I believe that because stuff's happened to me. I've made mistakes. I'm a human being. We all make mistakes. And when you combine being a human being with the care of animals and you blend those together, more mistakes and more stuff happens. Because now it's not just one life, it's multiple lives intermingled together, and things are going to happen. That's just how life works. So just one thing people have been calling out a ton that I don't believe is true. People have been saying that she's lost 20 plus animals over the course of a few months or something, and that is, first off, not true, because if you just pay attention to her videos, pay attention to her content, every time an animal dies, she is heartbroken. She is messed up over about that for a while. That is something where she goes on social media, she takes to social media, she takes to her channel, she takes to her Instagram, wherever, and she talks about it. And I think that she does that because that is her, like, this is her, I'm trying to find the word, God, this is her, that's her way of reaching out. Because I feel like if I had to picture how she feels in her mind, I would feel like I'm picturing she feels as though her animals are everyone's animals because they bring so many people joy and her joy, so she shares them with them. So when one of them passes away, she feels the need to share that information so other people will feel safe and feel and understand what's going on. But she has not lost 20 animals in a few months, guys. The big ones that people have talked about that she's lost is they talk about the hedgehogs that she's had passing away. First off, hedgehogs are a messed up species, guys. They normally only live to be between 3 to, I think, 3 to 5 years old, I think, is the average lifespan of a hedgehog as a pet. I don't know if that's because of bad care or bad breeding. I think it's mostly bad breeding is the reason. Obviously, if you take crappy care of a hedgehog, it's going to die faster. That's just obvious common sense. But hedgehogs don't live a super long amount of time. So it's a matter of you have to understand what the hedgehog is. Another thing people have been calling her out saying that that's died is her fish Cheese. Cheese was like the icon of her channel basically. And him passing away I think is almost what triggered this whole thing. Because everyone who even if they had issues with Taylor, they still stayed on probably because Cheese was just such a weird fish and so quirky, and no one had a cowfish. That was something that no one had. No one has seen an online person have a cowfish that I know of who is such a YouTube person like Taylor. So I feel like that was like the final straw for some people, and then that's when they like that's when their thread cut, and they were just like, okay, now I'm gonna start bashing this girl. And then the most recent death is obviously her 2 crocodile stinks and her Pac-Man frog, that they passed away because of heating malfunction, and that was her story. That was what she said happened. I fully believe that happened because that's happened to me. I've had heating malfunctions. I've had my power flicker. I've had my heat mats, my lamps, my thermostats, whatever. I've had them bust on me. I've had them shut down on me. I had a tank heater in this big tank behind me, crack a couple weeks ago, and I had to evacuate my fish, the single fish that was living here, into this small tank right now. So that's why I believe that, because that happens. Stuff like that happens, especially when you have to have electrical stuff mixed in with your tanks, mixed in with your animals. Things can go wrong. So that is just why I feel like there's no way I don't feel like she's lying about it. I feel like she's very honest about that, and she owns it. She said, in her video, her apology video that she made, she messed up. She knows she made mistakes. She tried everything. She recognized the problem when it happened. She went in, checked everybody, thought they were all fine, went out and did her life, and when she came back, the skinks and the frog had not made it. And that makes total sense to me. I've had similar situations happen. I've had some situations where animals passed away because of heating malfunction. That's just, people need to stop hating on her for all the deaths for animals. Animals die. It's a part of keeping animals as pets. Another thing people have been calling around on is saying she's an impulse buyer and she's bought tons of animals and she brings them in so quickly. One thing people hit on her about was Kronos, her roughneck monitor. She bought Kronos impulsively. She admitted she bought Kronos impulsively. And then after realizing she bought him impulsively and realizing he was the wrong kind of monitor, she then went out and purchased everything she could, changed his care completely, and made sure that monitor was cared for to the best of her abilities. That is someone who that doesn't look like a liar to me. That's not someone who is trying to hide a fact or a cover up. She's owning the mistake, and now she is saying, hey, I'm gonna fix this. I'm gonna take care of this animal. I'm gonna make it work. And that's admirable. It's not only is hard to make a mistake, it's hard to then make a mistake with an animal and then fix it. And especially when you think about a roughneck monitor in itself, Roughneck monitors are not cheap animals to care for. They are expensive. They require a lot of care, a lot of space, a lot of time, a lot of food. They eat like pigs. So it is insane. It's not really insane, but it's responsible and it's admirable for her to do that. Another impulse thing she admits to doing was her rats. Now, her rats, she doesn't say her impulse, and I honestly don't think they're impulse, because if you look at the video she did on her rats, she explains the situation where she has snakes that only eat live food. Makes sense. Live food, some snakes will only eat live food. Ball pythons especially are some of the pickiest eaters sometimes. They will only eat live food. And one of her snakes only eats live food. What can you do? So she bought live rats to feed to the snake, and when she went and bought live rats, one of the rats was super cute. She couldn't feed it. I understand that. I've seen very cute animals that I couldn't feed. Again, this is the same thing as Cronus. She got the rat, couldn't get rid of it, so she got it. So she cared for it. She got a cage, got all the stuff for it, and people were commenting saying, oh, that's a bad cage. It's not big enough. What are you doing? And then she's like, and then obviously she knew that wasn't going to be the right cage. She even said in the video that she's going to get them a bigger cage. And because of all the comments, she upgraded the cage ahead of time. She upgraded the cage faster than she planned to, just to appease the internet. And that's weird to me. That's weird that people's comments have that much power, and that people just being mean get their way by forcing someone's hand. First off, a YouTuber is not your plaything. It's not someone you can boss around just because you're unhappy with the content or because you're unhappy with the situation. Yeah, you can give them suggestions, be positive, say, hey, I don't think that's a big enough cage. She could have easily commented back, and she would have probably commented back and just said, yeah, I know it's not a big enough cage. I'm getting them a bigger cage. It's going to be here and so, and then I'll make sure I do a big cage tour and everything. And that would have been fine. That would have been the end of it. But no, people had to go out and be jerks. They had to go out there and throw hate and throw shade. And I don't know why they felt they needed to do that. Another thing... Oh my god, this video is going to be so long. So long. Another thing that people bashed her on was her cats. She touches on the cat thing a lot in her apology video, which I'm not even gonna call. No, it's not an apology video. In her response video, because it's not an apology video. It shouldn't be an apology video because she has nothing to apologize for. But she talks about the kittens and talks about the cats, and she basically explains she always wanted cats. Family had allergies, couldn't get cats. That's the gist of the situation. Go watch the actual video to figure out what's going on. But she was basically looking for a cat, couldn't find a cat, and went to a pet store to get some stuff. And there was a woman with cats, and she took them. And they were sick, and she did what she could. She did everything right. And one of the cats died. Okay, cats died. Sucks. That happens. I'm not trying to normalize. I'm not saying every cat should die. What I'm saying is sometimes you get kittens, and they're too young, and you can't do anything but just do your best and hope for the best, and sometimes the best doesn't happen. But the female kitten passed away, and so she has Nemo now. And then she got Nemo a friend, Ghost, and people were saying that Ghost was a purebred ragdoll who apparently people thought resembled a Craigslist ad, and then said that, oh, she must have gone out and bought this cat when she's saying she rescued it. There's problems with that. First off, and the main problem, the breeder herself, the one who had the kittens, the Craigslist post, has contacted Taylor after hundreds of people have contacted them asking if they were the ones who sold her the cat, just to try to get some dirt on Taylor. The woman said no. I'm going to presume it's a woman. And said no. And then, after so many questions about it, contacts Taylor to ask why she's saying she has her cat. Taylor does not have that cat. That cat's a rescue cat. She rescued the cat. Yes, it may be a ragdoll. It may be a purebred. It may be a mix that's majority ragdoll. I have a mix that is a majority Shih Tzu, and he is a rescue. He was completely free, but people all the time see him and instantly say, "Oh, that's a Shih Tzu," and I'm like, "Yeah, it's a Shih Tzu, but it's a majority Shih Tzu. It's actually mixed, but majority Shih Tzu." And Shih Tzu, Shih Tzu, I say both. Sorry. So I don't get why people have to call that out and why people are thinking that when even the breeder herself says it's not her cat. And guys, I know like every topic I bring up, I'm saying, but this happened to me. This happened to me. I get it. I know that sucks. I'm sorry, but that's why I feel so defensive about Taylor in this situation, because every time these things get brought up, my mind flashes to, but that's happened to me. I know how that feels. There's no way, that's very unlikely that she's this way because all of her animals are in good health and everything looks good. And that's another thing, is that people are not paying attention to what's important. If you see the animals on her channel, you will notice that they are healthy. They're happy. They're good weight. Their colors look good. They don't have hair missing. There's not patches of scales. There's no real injuries. Nothing crazy is going on. And there's also some video, I think the video that started all this, says that she manhandles her animals. Okay, first off, if you are a male, or if you're a man or woman, and you handle an animal, then yes, you're manhandling an animal. So you're a man who's handling an animal, so you're manhandling. Yeah, that's what it's called. No. See, animals move. Some animals don't like being picked up. Some animals will only want to be held in certain positions. Sometimes they move. My bearded dragon, every time I pick him up, no matter what, I can pick him up with both hands. I can pick him up in the most gentle way possible. He flails his tail and kicks his back legs. Always does it. I've read tons of tutorials. I've checked multiple videos how to pick up a bearded dragon properly. Every time I do it, he flips his tail and kicks his legs. There's nothing I can do about it. He just doesn't like the transition of being picked up off his cage and put on my shoulder. He doesn't like that midair feeling. A lot of animals don't like that midair feeling because for them, they feel like they're falling, and it just doesn't sit well in their mind. So until you set them down or you sit in a stable position and let them stabilize, they're gonna flail, and just is gonna look like they're being manhandled, and it's not accurate. But you can't just say that because you're handling your animals and because they're moving and they look like they're in a bad position that you're manhandling, that you're mistreating them. It's not how that works. So, I don't know, man. I feel like I'm rambling and ranting in this video, but I am because I've been a follower of Taylor for so long, and so I guess I'm partially biased. I'm defensive because in her video, she tried so hard not to come off as defensive, and she tried so hard not to come off as someone who was not to come off as aggressive about all the accusations. But in my opinion, I feel like if she had, it would have been totally justified because all these people are saying things that are obviously not true, and there's no way they can be true. At least to me, I don't think any of these things are true. Whatever you pick apart, if it's there's so many things people pick apart, and it's like, why? If you take a picture of a dog and at an angle and there's a shadow and there's like a little shadow dot on the dog's leg, people will get online and say you're beating your dog. If you're holding your snake and the way the snake is sitting in your hand makes it look like there's a big bump in the snake, they'll say you're holding it after you've fed your snake. I mean, just crazy stuff. Just crazy stuff, man. And the internet is one of those places where if anyone says anything, it automatically gets taken as fact until you prove it wrong. And I don't know. It's just it bothers me a lot that it bothers me in that sense. But it also, what really bothers me the most is out of all the videos I've seen, I've only seen I think 1 or 2 videos that back up Taylor, and the rest are just attacking her. The main one I've seen is like Maddie Smith's video, which I tweeted her to try to get her permission to link her video and everything. I don't know if you need permission to link videos or whatever, but I didn't. But go check out her video on this subject, and check out Taylor's video on just what's happening to her and her responses to everything. The last thing I just need to bring up is the last thing I need to bring up is people have been contacting her place of residence, her apartment, and they are calling either her building manager or the animal police or whoever and saying, hey, there's this crazy lady, has all kinds of animals, it smells terrible, she hangs them over the balcony, all this mess. And they're saying this, and then, either if they call the building manager, they say, hey, come down and talk to us about it, and they never show up, or they call the animal police and they have to shut up door because it's a federal, I think it's a federal regulation or a federal thing with the animal police. If they get a call saying there's an animal being mistreated, they have to respond to that. They can't not respond. They can't ignore it. If it's a repetitive case, they can say X amount of times, they can say for however long, yeah, we've checked that, we've closed the case, it's not really what's going on. But just don't call the police on Taylor. Don't do that. That is, Taylor said it in her video and everyone else said it. That's harassment. That's harassing someone because they do something you don't agree with. That is harassment, and that is ridiculous. It's childish. It is childish to call a professional organization or a business just because you don't like someone. What is the point of that? If you don't like someone, stay online. Just tweet about it, Facebook about it, Instagram. Just say what you want. Put your feelings out there. Find the people who agree with you. Y'all talk and hang out and share your thoughts. And the people who support will do the same thing. We'll go online. We'll share our thoughts. We'll talk about our opinions. And we'll come together. We can all just agree to disagree. In the end of it all, if you love Taylor like I do, awesome. 100% cool. If you don't like Taylor, okay, 100% go for it. Yes, that was biased, but I love Taylor, so I'm going to be on the I love Taylor side. So, just don't be that person. Don't harass people. Don't belittle people. Don't feel like you have this power, this responsibility to call professional authorities just to attack someone who you think is doing wrong. And don't say it's in their best interest. No, it's harassing someone because you didn't get your way, because what you said online didn't make her get rid of her animals, because what you said online didn't make her feel bad, or it made her feel bad, and she just didn't do anything super public about it until just now. Okay, guys, so I'm editing the thing about Taylor's response video. I just wanted to point out something. In the video, I do say stuff about don't feel responsible to call authorities, call people, for X reasons or whatever. That's not really accurate. What I said, I was heat of the moment. What I was trying to say was just don't harass people with the police and don't harass people with authorities. If you feel like someone's in danger or you feel like something serious is happening, yes, call people, call authorities. But if you're just trying to get your way and you're trying to harass someone, then don't call police. That's what I was trying to get across, and I don't know if I didn't feel it came off properly, so I'm making this little clip to put in so that way, it works. Okay. All right, guys. So that's basically all my thoughts on the animal situation, Taylor stuff. That's basically all she commented on, talked about in her videos was the animal side. Her personal stuff and everything, again, totally her business. So just leave her alone. Or just don't, if you have to hate on her, just comment section. There's a comment section. Heck, feel free to get on my videos and put your hate comments for her in there. It won't make any sense, but it'll hopefully at least make her feel better. Anyway, to everyone out there who subscribed to me and everyone out there who is interested in seeing more videos from me, go ahead and click the subscribe button. Go ahead and click and like this video and share this video with your friends. If you don't know anything about Taylor Nichole Dean, check out her channel. Check out Maddie Smith's channel and her video on the Taylor situation before Taylor posted her video. I've got nothing else to say, guys. Just don't hate. Don't be that person. Anyway, to all my subscribers and everybody out there who support me, I love you guys so much. Thank you. You guys are awesome. Peace.